Oh yeah, you see it? That's 2,000 bucks in closed profits. And we've still got an open trade on gold that is running $2,300 in profit. I finally had my breakthrough. Find out more about it in this video. Hello and welcome to the Pine Street Capital YouTube channel where we talk all things trading and investing. My name is Ron and I'm the managing partner of Pine Street Capital. I've been trading for over 6 years and today we are going to be talking about week 4 of the challenge. Right, so week 4 of the challenge, if I have to put it into one word, it was a roller coaster, right? It was a roller coaster, but I finally had my breakthrough. I finally had those trades that ran forever and ever and ever. And we're going to go into more detail on them, but just like last week, I'm going to take you along with me throughout the entire day on Saturday so you can see what I get up to and I'll tell you the story. The most amazing view on a Saturday afternoon. Just look at that. Okay, so we just got to Newlands and came to the creamery, and as you can see, Eskom just did its thing again. Load shedding. So no ice cream for anyone. So let's start with the first half of the week. Right. So on Monday, what happened was, got up like any normal day, took an L, right? First thing in the morning, took another L, then Monday was just a day full of L's. So I closed Monday in like $1,500 loss. Then on Tuesday was when I really went on tilt. Now, one thing you need to do as a trader is you need to be able to identify when you're going on tilt. When you start to take on those trades whereby, you don't even have high conviction about it, you're sort of taking the trade in the hope that it eventually goes in your favor, right? And that's when you're starting to get in danger of going on tilt. The moment you go on tilt as a trader, what then happens is you start taking on these gamble type trades, right? Whereby, sometimes you don't have a stop loss, sometimes sometimes you just take a trade when there isn't even a setup, right? So I identified that early and stopped trading, right? If I had continued trading on that particular day, I might have hit my daily loss limit of $5,000. Luckily, when the loss was around $3,800, I stopped, right? So now I am 2 days into the week and I'm close to $5,000 down, right? What do I do next? As in, I'm sure you can imagine how I was feeling that night, right? So the moment I realized I was about to go on tilt, I then stopped. I started studying my stats. As in, I probably spent that entire night studying my stats, and eventually I noticed one thing. I noticed that the losing trades that I was taking were hitting my stop loss almost immediately, right? But then the winning trades that I was making were running like forever. So rather than trying to increase the percentage of my winning trades, which is what most people would actually try and do in that situation, I was like, how do I maximize on the trades that I'm actually winning on, right? Because I'm just gonna take losses anyway, so why not maximize my winners? So that's exactly what I did, and I will tell you about how I did that well, going into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But anyway, since the creamery is closed, I guess we're going to have to go to what's that place called? Rockstar, yeah. So we'll talk at Rockstar. Let's go.
Business plan from the creamery to here, bro. Imagine, I got this shit on here. I got this
Okay, done with unconstructive dialogue with these two numbskulls. So, let's talk trading. Right, so Wednesday, as I said, I decided that I wanted to add to my winners, right? So, I woke up the next morning. First thing in the morning, I wanted to get as much size onto the trades that I was taking as possible, right? So my first trade was a 66 lot long position on the NASDAQ, which closed in a small profit. Then, you know, the rest of the day was small losses. Then finally, I got into a trade on the pound. Remember, at this stage, I'm about $5,000 down on the week, right? Huge trade on the pound. $2,000 profit, thank you very much. Another trade on the pound, another $2,000, right? So essentially I closed Wednesday above scratch, essentially. And the good thing was, during that day, well, earlier on, I think on Tuesday, I had actually requested an extension, but then they rejected it because I was below scratch. So now I'm above scratch, and I go into the next day slightly below because I took a loser on the last trade of the day. Then Thursday comes. Thursday was about a break-even day. Then Friday was the day. Friday I closed a gold trade. Oh, sorry, this was Thursday. Thursday I closed a gold trade. $7,000 profit. I really like the way I managed this trade, and I'll probably talk about it later on when we're actually looking into my analytics. But with this trade, I took $1,000 risk, right? Then by the time I added to the position, the worst case scenario was I lose $500, right? So I added to it, and essentially at the end of it, I was almost 7 lots long on gold. And if you know anything about trading, 7 lots long is a lot of risk. But when your worst case scenario is you lose $500, hey, you take it. So anyway, that ended really well. Then I took a few losers on that day. Eventually, Friday was NFP day. So NFP day, I took a loser on the pound, then I took a winner on gold, which essentially got me about $200 in profit, but then I took a couple losers. And then fortunately, I've got this trade open right here, which is a $2,300 winner on gold. So right now I'm long about, what is it, 3 lots? Oh, I'm long 2 lots. 2 lots on gold. If gold opens, say, $10 higher, which I'm hoping it does, then I'm pretty much done with this challenge. So that's about it, and that's enough about trading. That's my week. we'll go into the real details later on, but hey, it's Saturday, so I'm having a drink.
West Side, what's up?
So now that you know the entire story of exactly what transpired this week, let's jump into my screen and look at the actual equity curve throughout the entire week. Let's jump in. This is my performance for the week. As always, this is the statement from MetaTrader 4, and as you can see, a lot more trades now. So as you probably remember from the past couple of weeks, you know, it was sort of up and down, up and down, up and down. Then I started to look at my trade statistics, and due to the analysis that I did on my stats, I then decided to make the appropriate changes. And these are the things that you need to be competent in as a trader, right? You need to be able to look at your stats and objectively come up with solutions to particular problems that you see, right? So I guess the one thing that really sticks out is what then happened this week as I went into drawdown, right? And when I go into drawdown, this is when I really go into deep analysis of my stats, right? So I spent probably a total of about 48 hours this week just looking through my trade stats, right? Which is quite a lot of time. So let's actually look at what my stats are saying. So according to my stats, this is one thing that really sticks out like a sore thumb if you ask me, and that is my win rate, right? And this is one key thing that I saw within my stats when I did my analysis. My win rate is 41% on my short positions and 37% on my long positions. And if you look at FX Blue, which shows my win percentage on all of my trades, 38% win rate. That's pretty low. So what that told me was, you know what, I've got a really low win rate under this market environment, right? I can't change what the market environment is, right? But one thing I can change is my approach and the way I apply my strategy, which is why I then used this technique of essentially adding to positions, call it edge hacking, and that's essentially what I used to then start to get these huge winners, right? This was a huge winner. I think it was on the pound, which got me back to scratch when I requested the extension. And then this was one huge trade on gold that then got me into deep profits, right? I should have let this one run, but unfortunately I didn't. I might review that trade some other time, because I think it's very important to explain the way that I manage that position, right? So that's essentially what happened. And again, this is something that I point out in every single one of these videos where we're analyzing my performance, and that is the fact that I've got a very low win rate, but I'm still making money, right? As in, there's no week that I've come out in a loss throughout this entire challenge, and I've been coming out with a very low win rate at the end of the day. My win rate has never gone above 50%, right, throughout this entire challenge. But guess what? Every single week in, week out, I come out in at least a little bit of a profit. And that's because of the fact that I've got a really good risk-reward ratio. As you can see, my most profitable trade was $4,854 in profit, right? And my worst losing trade is a $900 loss. You know, my average losing trade is $231. My average winning trade is $406.34. Let's actually look at what my risk reward ratio is on FX Blue. Yeah, 1.37 is my average risk reward ratio. And that just goes to show you that you don't need a very high win rate to make money. That's what a lot of beginners think. So let's go into the day-to-day from MyForexFunds. So this is
my trade journal from my Forex funds, and as you can see, it shows pretty much the same picture. Going into the day today, on Monday, as you can see, I lost $1,595. Tuesday was the really big day, and this is the day when I went deep. I really nerded out on my stats, and that's when I figured out that I needed to make a particular change with the way I was trading, right? So this was essentially Monday, that loss, then Tuesday, really big loss, and then after that, Tuesday, I never lost money after that day, right? So Tuesday I lost a lot of money, then essentially made it back to scratch. Then I got the extension. Then after I got the extension, I knew that I could increase my risk on my trades, right? So I increased my risk and essentially got to this trade. And the best thing about this trade was the fact that I never had more than $1,000 risked on that particular trade at any time, but then came out in a $7,000 profit, you know. So by the time I actually added to the position, the worst case scenario was I was going to lose, I think it was $600 or something like that. Then I had another one of those good trades on Friday, and I'm actually still running it. So hopefully by the time market opens on Monday, you know, that trade is $8,000 in profit, and we're through the first phase of the challenge. So that is my performance. Now that I'm sitting in a healthy profit, I think at this point in time, the main goal is to sort of minimize my drawdowns and try to get to the $8,000 target. Hopefully market opens tomorrow and gold just rockets up, meaning that the trade that I'm currently in then hits my take profit, and I can finally be done with phase 1 and move into phase 2, right? That's the entire goal. But if I can't get into phase 2 by the end of this week, then hey, the good thing is I've got the extension and I've got an additional 4 weeks in order to do that, right? So hopefully that happens. Hopefully I move into phase 2 and then just crush it from there. The good thing now is I'm aware of the market environment, how my strategy performs under this market environment, and I've made the appropriate changes. So it should be smooth sailing from now, but hey, I'm always looking into my stats and seeing how I can improve things. But that's week 4 in a nutshell. I'll see you in week 5, but before I see you in week 5, I definitely suggest you watch this training. This is the most powerful training that I've ever done, and you can watch it right now by clicking on this video right here. I promise you, the perspective that you have on trading will never be the same after you watch this video. So click on it, watch it till the end, and I promise your trading will never be the same. But with that said, I'll see you in the next one.